Good afternoon, Aslam class. This is your Wednesday, the 6th of January, 2020 science lesson. It is the first science lesson of this half term. So, and our topic this half term is all going to be about living things in science. Before we go on to our first cut, what we're going to be doing in our lesson today, we are going to be looking at the Knowledge Organiser. So this is something that we would obviously send out to you. But what you can do, you can take a screenshot of this, or you can pause it and you can always come back to it. It's always going to be up on YouTube, so you can always look at it there. I'm just going to go through it very quickly. At the top, we've got two pictures here. We have something called vertebrates, and here we've got invertebrates. And invertebrates are animals that basically have a backbone, that have a spine, and similar to us, we're human beings, we have a backbone, so we are vertebrates. And here are some examples of some animals. Here we've got orangutans, fish, an eagle, a chameleon or a lizard, and a frog. And then we have invertebrates. And invertebrates are animals that do not have a backbone. So things like spiders and ants and worms and slugs and snails. The key vocabulary I'll go through in a minute, and we just have a look over here. Plants, we can group plants there because they are living things as well. We can group plants into two different groups. We have flowering plants and we have non-flowering plants. The key vocabulary. So these are going to be words that we're going to be covering or being used in the science topic. We have organisms, and organisms are things that are living. So any living thing we can refer to as an organism. Life processes. These are things, what do living things need to stay alive, and what we do to stay alive. Respiration. Respiration is when oxygen is being used to change food inside our bodies and into other living things as well, not just us, but where we use oxygen to change our food into energy. Sensitivity is how a living thing reacts to any change in their environment. Reproduction is how living things are reproduced and how they made. Excretion, if you can remember our digestive topic we did a while back, where we used orange juice and biscuits and bananas, we were showing how the body gets rid of waste, and that's called excretion. So excretion is anything that how we living things get rid of waste. Nutrition is food that gives a living thing energy and the ability to live, and habitat is where living things live. Environment, our habitats can be found within certain environments. Both living and non-living things can be found in that environment. Endangered species. Now, these are animals or plants or any type of living thing that scientists believe and fear that they may no longer exist in the future. They fear that these things may then become extinct, and that's the next word down. And extinct means a species, a living thing that just now no longer exists in the natural world anymore. So like dinosaurs, for example, dinosaurs are an extinct species. They don't exist anymore. Classification. This is how animals and plants are grouped together based on their similarities. Vertebrates and invertebrates we've already discussed. So vertebrates have backbones and invertebrates do not. And then our final two, a specimen is scientists study a specimen to find out more about a certain species. So if you were to, let's see here, I've got a leaf, okay, that I've just picked off a plant in my garden. I can use this specimen to test on it to find out more about this leaf and where it came from and more about the plant. Characteristics are features or qualities that living things have. So for example, birds have wings, fish have fins, human beings have toes and fingers and thumbs. So they're kind of characteristics. On the right hand side here, we've got environments can change, and this can sometimes pose dangers to living things. Where we live, for example, many years ago, it was probably just grassland or forests. And over the years, we've cut them down and we've built our houses, which means that there probably were animals living there that now don't live there. We have a look at the Amazon rainforest. Many species in the Amazon rainforests are endangered because they're deforestation by putting new farms in. They're destroying the homes of animals. So changes in environments can sometimes pose dangers to living things. And then here on the right, we have our classification table, our classification key. And this is a flowchart, which basically you answer questions, and then by answering yes or no leads on to another question. And then as you answer the questions, it should help you whittle it down to where you've only got the species left. So if you have a look at this one, our first question, has the mini beast got legs? If it has, so what you would do, you would go out and pick up a mini beast, and right, here's my chart. So I could pick an animal. Okay, let's just pretend I picked one up. It's here in my hand. Has it got, the mini beast got legs? Yes, my mini beast has legs. So I then go on to these questions over here. Has it got wings? No, mine hasn't got wings. Does it have more than 8 legs? No, it doesn't. Therefore, it must be a spider. I haven't really got a spider, but well, there's a spider there. If got loads of them around here. So yes, that could be that's one way of using it. And of course, it all depends on what questions, what you answer to how you classify your animal. Okay, so that's the knowledge organizer. Now today, normally, as we would start any topic, you would do a cold task. So the first thing I want you to do is think about what you already know about living things and their habitats. And on a piece of paper, can you please write down anything that you may already know about a living thing? It could be anything. It could be, you know, that dogs bark. It could be, you know, that cats meow. It could be, you know, that birds have wings and feathers. It can be anything you know about living things and habitats, and just write it down. You can do it on a spider diagram if you want. Set up my board. Oh, you have to set up way before. So you could simply just do living things. And literally just do a spider diagram. What do you know about living things? You know, feathers, trees, plants, living things. So it can be anything. So you can do a spider diagram to help you plot your ideas. Put them onto tapestry so I can then have a look. Now, we've got 3 challenges for you to do today as well. Challenge number 1. I want you to think about what you think is a living thing. Okay, so that will come into our spider diagram. Challenge 2. Name a living thing that lives in the forest or the park. Okay, that could be anything. Anything you think that lives in the forest or the park. And then challenge number 3. Some of you may be lucky enough to have a garden. If so, that's great. If not, just have a look outside your window and spend about 5-10 minutes just looking at things that are outside that you believe are living things. So, for example, I had to change my camera around so you can have a look into my back garden. And so if I was in my garden, I would spend about 10 minutes having a look around. And there's one of my daughter's balls, which she's left on the floor. This isn't a living thing, so I'm not going to write this down on my board. I don't think it's a living thing. So I might have a look around. Grass. This grows in the mud, in the soil, on the floor. I've got loads of it in my back garden. The grass is a living thing. I think it's a living thing. So then I'm going to write down grass. Okay. And then going to have a look what else is living in my back garden. Yeah, I've got a tree. Okay. This tree, believe it or not, is a living thing. Can't actually bring that over to the camera, but I'm then going to write that down as a thing that is living on my board. Okay, and you would obviously do it on a piece of paper. Let's do one more thing that might be living in my back garden. This plant over here, I don't know if you can see me. This is the rose bush. And that's a living thing. In the summer, it's really nice and it flowers really lovely. You couldn't see it over there. But yeah, I've just got a rose bush there. That's a living thing as well. So I'm going to put that onto my list. So that's basically what you need to do. Good luck. And we'll talk about this more in our live session. Good luck. And yes, see you in the next one.